Am I the a-hole for not going to my twin's wedding? I, 24 male, have an identical twin. We are not close, but I thought we had a basic mutual respect. That belief was tested. I grew up in a traditional southern town and only began coming out in college about 5 years ago. It's been slow, especially with family. But since moving to DC in 2023 for school/work, I felt more comfortable living authentically. After moving, I met my boyfriend, 26 male, and we've been together 2 years. Over time, I have introduced him to friends and family when I felt safe. Got to November 2024, I was home for the holidays and told my twin and his fiancé about my boyfriend. They seemed happy for me. While staying with them, wedding details arose and they asked if I'd bring a date. I said yes, my boyfriend. My twin had gone to bed, but his fiancé said, "While there are pros and cons, it's up to you if you want to bring him." That felt like a green light. Are you sure about that? My twin constantly deferred to her on decisions, so I didn't think I needed to double check. 5 months passed. My boyfriend and I had spent $1,300 on travel, flights, hotel, etc. 3 weeks before the wedding, I mentioned on a call with my brother that we were all set. His tone shifted. Oh, is boyfriend actually coming? I reminded him of the convo with his fiancée. He said she never gave me permission and accused me of making it up. Then said, "We can't allow your boyfriend to come. We worry how that side will react." I offered to call dad on the spot. He dodged, saying he'd check with his fiancée despite just saying it was his decision. An hour later, no change. I was still invited, alone, still expected to buy groomsmen match suiting, even though I wasn't in the party, and show up smiling. That's when I snapped. Finally. I asked, "If I didn't invite your fiancé to my wedding, would you still come?" He couldn't answer and ended the call after some harsh words. Trying to make things right, I came out to my dad, which I feared for years, to explain the situation. He was surprisingly indifferent and even said uninviting my boyfriend was extreme. He offered to talk to extended family. I thought I was removing the main obstacle. Weeks later, my twin called again. He now claimed our friends would be weirded out, so the excuse shifted. I said, "If my boyfriend not invited, I'm not coming." He didn't budge. Here's the kicker. Days later, my dad told me the fiancée admitted she did give me permission, but changed her mind when she remembered who would be there. She denied this to my twin. Also, one of her bridesmaids is openly gay and brought her girlfriend, but according to the fiancé, she's not part of the family, so it's different. So I didn't go. I'm still wondering if I made the wrong call. My absence was noticed. I got texts asking where I was. My mom had to explain it repeatedly. So instead of avoiding attention, my absence became the story. My relationship with my twin is dead, and some family ties now feel fragile. Part of me wonders, should I have sucked up and gone solo just to preserve bonds that shape my entire life? So, am I the a-hole for skipping the wedding? You're not the a-hole here. You were basically forced to choose between outdated ideologies or yourself. It was hard enough to come to terms with who you are, and after that, you bent over backwards to try to make this work. You even offered to clear things up with your dad before the wedding. You did everything in your power to make this respectful, and they still made it impossible. In my opinion, you're not the problem here, but let's see what the comments think. You came out to your dad, got gaslit by your twin, got lied by the fiancé, and still tried to make peace. You did more than enough. They choose drama, not you. He wasn't even asked to be part of the bridal party. I think his relationship was dead long ago, or am I wrong? Honestly, if showing up alone means shrinking yourself for their comfort, you did the right thing. Blood does not mean you have to keep showing up to places where you are treated like a problem. Proud of you for standing your ground. The verdict is not the a-hole, obviously. Former friend turned into a Bridezilla and ruined multiple friendships, including mine. I, 28 female at the time, became close friends with Marge, 24 female, because she was dating Alex, 28 male, one of the guys in the long-standing friend group I was part of from university. These guys had all been friends since preschool and stayed close through university, where I met them. Marge was honestly the stereotypical opinionated, spoiled, and sometimes mean girl, but despite her personality, we got along. Not just for the sake of the group, but because she could also be fun to be around. Her family was wealthy, and at one point she was nice enough to offer me a job working with her brother as a consultant. Her brother was nice, but ended up quitting. His wife was jealous of me, and another brother, the one actually founding the project, was incredibly mean to him, which created a toxic environment. Eventually, Marge and Alex broke up. Thinking it was over for good, his friends started encouraging him to date again, introducing him another lady. Meanwhile, I introduced Marge to my boyfriend's best friends, trying to support her as a friend too. I was not finding her a date just to hang out with us. But then, to everybody's surprise, Alex and Marge got back together. I was happy for both. Everything seems to go back to normal, or that's what we thought. Then, people in the group started getting engaged, myself included. That's when Marge began acting out. She was visibly bitter about wedding excitement and started trying to ruin receptions and trips, being loud, making mean comments, and drawing negative attention. Every parent present at these events hated her behavior. Most of the group went on a destination honeymoon / after-wedding trip, but I didn't go because I was getting married at the same time. None of the group could come to my wedding. Marge had asked me to invite one of her female friends to it, but I declined. That friend was similar to Marge. I suspected she wanted her friend to create a scene like she had done at other weddings. So let me get this straight. If she is such a mean person and continuously ruining other people's wedding, why are you guys still friends with her? I would assume at this point you guys are out of school, so keeping friends around, it's a real effort to make. Why have someone in your life if the dynamic is toxic? Is it because Alex is such a core part of the friend group? Otherwise, I don't really understand why she's still around if she's ruining everybody's happy moments. But back to the story. As I was moving to another country, I told Marge I was selling my bike. She said she wanted to buy it, so I arranged with my mom to handle the sale after I left. But months went by with no response from her. My mom kept trying to follow up, and after being repeatedly ignored, she gave up and gave the bike to my cousin. Marge got furious. She insulted my mom and told her, "You're not true to your word." Absolutely not. Nobody talks to someone else's mom this way. That should have been the final straw right there. I hope you cut her off right away after this. I didn't reach out to ask for an apology, I just blocked her. As you should, babe. Months later, I heard she pressured Alex into proposing. Friends from other circles told me she became a total bridezilla. Of course she did. Demanding such an inexpensive, over-the-top wedding that all her close friends ditched her and she had to find new ones. Womp womp. Worst of all, she gave Alex an ultimatum. Cut off all contact with his lifelong friends or else. And he did. I'm so sad to hear this, but ultimatums are always come with a price. On their wedding day, Alex stood in the church, surrounded only by the people she approved of. I believe no his good friends from his childhood or university years. As far as I know, they are still married, have good jobs and live well, but he's completely isolated from his old social circles. Last time I asked about them in the group, someone said, "In this house, those names are unmentionable." Well, I can understand that the friends are hurt, but poor Alex. Just imagine what he's going through. Just a quick note I remembered. Years before I met the person I eventually married, I was heartbroken after a breakup with my then boyfriend. March suggested we go to a bar together with that female friend to cheer me up. I arrived at the time she told me. I kept calling her, she kept saying, "Wait for me, we're almost there," etc., but she never showed up. After 2 hours of waiting alone, she stopped answering. I was sitting there, visibly upset, and I could feel people around me looking at me with pity. It was humiliating and made me feel even worse. Despite that experience, I stayed friends with her, but why? Why at this point? Why did you let her walk all over you? Mostly because of the group and her boyfriend, who was a genuinely good person. I have a quick update that serves as an example of never getting involved in anyone's relationships. Now that we are all over 50, the group of 25 friends has dissolved since the incident. I asked a few about the famous couple and revived the same comment. In this house, we don't talk about the unmentionable. But the ex-wife of one of them said she felt guilty because she hated March from the start and wanted Alex to date her friend, so she seized the opportunity during their breakup and convinced everyone to ignore March. So March was right after all. The group was toxic for her relationship with Alex. Well, at the end of the day, Alex is the only person who can make decisions about his life. Let's see what are the people in the comment section think. Why did the group fall apart if everyone knew she was the problem? You think going through something like that would bring the rest of them closer, not tear them apart? Yeah, this is a very good observation. I was thinking the same. I'm more curious about the part where none of your friends came to your wedding because they went on a group trip instead. Yeah, I'm very interested in that too, and thankfully OP has an answer for this. 2 things to consider. First, I got married in a bit of a rush just 2 months after the proposal because I was moving to another country. Secondly, one of our friends organized an overseas trip for the group as a kind of honeymoon getaway long before anyone knew I was getting engaged. Most of the group ended up going on the trip. The bride was totally fine with it and everyone said that they had a great time. These guys always did everything together. One of them made to my wedding with his wife, kind of representing the group. So I guess I was right. Everybody stayed friends with her because of Alex. Am I the a-hole for suing my friends after singing and playing for their entire wedding and not getting paid? I, 30 male, am a lawyer, but I'm also very active in music. I sing and I play piano, organ, guitar. Pretty much any instrument I can get my hands on. I've performed at several weddings, often as a personal favor for close friends. A while back, my friends Jimmy and Belle asked if I could handle the entire music for their Catholic wedding mass. That meant singing and playing organ through the whole liturgy, processional, offertory, communal, recessional, etc. I agreed, assuming I was being invited as a guest and doing this out of friendship. But as the wedding approached, I noticed I hadn't received any kind of invitation, not even to the mass. I asked Belle and she replied, "Oh, we had to trim the guest list, but you can still come early to rehearse and do the music." Translation: I wasn't invited. I wasn't even treated like a guest, just free labor. Still, I honored the commitment. I arrived early, rehearsed, sang, and played the entire mess alone, packed up and left. No acknowledgement, no token, no food, no seat, no thank you. I mean, not even thanking you, that's on another level of evil. So I sent them a professional invoice, a reasonable rate for performing solo for a full wedding mass. Nothing excessive, just what it was worth. They didn't pay it. Of course they didn't. I would have been surprised if they would. Belle ghosted me. The audacity. Jimmy said he talked to her, but nothing happened. They ignored follow-ups. After 30 days, I sent a demand letter. No response. So I sued them for breach of oral contract and unjust enrichment. We had written messages confirming the arrangement. Screenshots of Belle asking me to perform, timing, songs, and expectations. I represented myself. They showed up, shocked that I followed through. I'm very happy you did. Guess what? I won. The judge ruled in my favor and ordered them to pay the full amount plus court costs. Now, our friend group is on fire. Some say I went too far. Those people are not your friends. All you did, you just stood up for yourself. Others quietly say, good for you. Belle's been posting cryptic quotes about betrayal and money over friendship. Classic Belle. So now I'm wondering, am I the a-hole for suing people I once considered friends after they used me for free live music and refused to pay? You're absolutely not the a-hole. People cannot expect you to do stuff for them for free, and they don't even give you the bare minimum. The bare minimum would have been to invite you to the wedding. I don't think you wanted money. You just wanted to be respected and be there and witness their wedding. So I think you did everything perfect, and I'm very proud of you, and I'm very happy it worked out in the end. Let's see the comment section. Not the a-hole. If you were not allowed to attend as a guest, that means you were hired to play. This they pay. It's funny how friendship did not extend to an invite, but now she is saying money over friendship. If OP was a friend, he would have been a guest, not a friend. Here's the invoice, lol. Pay up, not the a-hole. This would be my response every time. Friends get invited to weddings. Performers are hired and paid. We are all aligned and agreed you are not the a-hole. At the end of the day, it's a happy ending because you got rid of some toxic people from your life. Wish you the best for the future. Alright, that's enough chaos for today. If you like this mess, please subscribe. I will bring more drama next time.